But Mark, let's close out the podcast doing what we do each and every week, making our picks for this one, week numero 5 of the NFL season. We're going to start off Thursday Night Football.
Love it.
The 1-3 Colts going into the 2-2 Patriots. Yep. Foxborough, who you got?
Patriots.
You almost wanted to pick the Cardinals.
I did. No, not the Cardinals. The Colts.
The Colts.
I didn't almost want to pick the Cardinals at all. Not even in their game.
Because they're going to play the 49ers.
But, for this one, it's pretty simple to me. I mean, it takes a little bit for the New England Patriots to get the steam running under them, but they're going to get there, and they kind of already have against the Dolphins. So just roll right into the Colts.
You can tell it's been a long night. I've been here since 4 o'clock doing podcast with Brandon, now a podcast with you. We're going on 4 hours in the recording studio for me. Don't know why I said Cardinals. Don't know why they're on my mind, but they apparently are. I'm going to go with the Patriots as well. I almost picked the Colts, but I was like, I ain't going against.
Tempting.
I'm not going against the Patriots in Foxborough on a shortened week. The Colts they might be able to win, but I ain't going to go that
I thought
ballsy.
I saw something, too, that was like the time of day. And I don't care enough to check, but someone in the comment section can. The time of day that the Patriots game ended compared to the Colts game ending is enough to where you're sitting there like, all right, the Colts are at a big disadvantage, especially with them traveling on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thursday night games are bullshit.
Well, the next one, we're going to do an AFC South team against another AFC East team. We got the Titans, almost said Texans. Titans. English is hard, man.
Yeah, you should just stop.
The Titans going up against the Bills. I'm going with the favorite. I'm going with the Titans, although I said that they are pretenders in our Titans segment this week. Who you got, Bills or Titans?
You said for a second you're going with the favorite. In a moment I said, are the Bills the favorite? I'm going with the Bills on this one, actually.
Are the Bills the favorite?
I just think that this is one of those kind of underdog games that the Bills can win at home against the Tennessee Titans, which have a great defense.
How many defenders will Josh Allen try to hurdle?
At least 3.
Before getting snapped in half.
At least
it's like,
3.
Allen, stop.
Yeah, it's just to me like they've already done well against good defenses that they had no business to be better than. So they can do fine against Tennessee, and Tennessee has trouble scoring points. So the Buffalo Bills, I know they just got shut out, but they don't need to score that many points to be able to win against the Titans.
Well, the next one, I think this is the most intriguing matchup of the weekend, for me at least. Dolphins going into Paul Brown Stadium, a couple of 3-1 teams between the Dolphins and the Bengals. I am going to go against the line here. Bengals getting a 6.5-point line. They are the favorites. I think the Dolphins bounce back in this one. I think that they are pissed off that they lost to the Patriots. Their fans are pissed off. They're going to walk into Cincinnati and convincingly win over a Cincinnati team where Andy Dalton has been playing well.
He certainly has. This passing game has been great. I hope Joe Mixon's going to be healthy and be able to play.
Because he's on your fantasy team?
No, he's not on my fantasy team. I just, for the sake of the Cincinnati Bengals, I hope he's going to be out there because I need him. And you know what? This goes either one of two ways, I think, for Miami. They either bounce back and are going to show that they're still a good team, or things are going to fall apart kind of quickly. And same thing for the Cincinnati Bengals. They need this win to prove that, no, we are really a playoff team.
And I also need the Dolphins to win so that my 3-13 prediction for the Bengals can hold up, because the Bengals are knocking at the door of making me wrong there. The next game, we've got an AFC North battle between the Ravens and the Browns. Ravens only a 3-point favorite right now.
Yeah.
You going to pick Baker? You going for Baker?
It's tempting, but I'm not going to.
Baker, I
think that Cleveland can split for most of their divisional games, but I don't think the Baltimore Ravens are one of those teams that they're going to split with. I just think the Ravens are a better team offensively and defensively.
Yeah, the Ravens, like Joe Flacco this year to me, although it hasn't been like
he doesn't want to lose his job.
Exactly. Doesn't want to lose that job, is playing like a different Joe Flacco. Basically the one where I'm like, oh, that's why he got all that money after he won the
Joe
Super
Flacco.
Bowl. I'm going to go with the Ravens in this one. They're going to go 4-1 and be halfway to proving me wrong, as I said they were going to be 8-8 and miss the playoffs this year at the beginning. Then we got an NFC North divisional battle. The Pack Attack going up against the Lions. In this one, I wanted to pick the Lions, and the line makers are saying it's going to be close, as Green Bay's only a 1-point favorite. But I know how this goes. The Lions play a tough game. They throw a Hail Mary to the end zone. It gets batted down. The Packers win. This is what happens. Or Aaron Rodgers throws a Hail Mary. It goes into the arms of Richard Rodgers, and the Packers win. I'm going with the Packers. They're going to go 3-1 on the year.
I just kind of feel that the Lions...
3-1-1 on the year.
The Lions at home can make their splash, and they've been in it. With that one exception from week 1, they have been right there in it for a lot of these games. And the Packers, are going to play them tough. They're going to play the Packers tough. It's going to be right there. I think that, but I just kind of feel like the Lions have been smacked around one too many times. They're going to want to make that splash and say, no, we're a real team, and actually win against the Packers, who are struggling a little bit right now, and Randall Cobb might not be there.
What did you think of Golden Tate's touchdown against the Cowboys, where he did kind of that?
It was awesome.
What was that? The Michael Irvin move, or was that a T.O. move? I know it was something making fun of the Cowboys, but just that dance down the sideline into the end zone.
It was one of those things where it was awesome, and at the same time, you're like, don't mess up.
Don't drop it. Don't do it to Sean Jackson.
Don't step out of
drop
bounds.
It at the one.
Don't not realize that somebody is right there about to tackle you. That's my personal favorite. Is I'm strutting and then you get hit.
My favorite still, the Deshaun Jackson punt return. I'm going to drop the ball right at the one, and looking on the replay where it's like, oh, no, that ball did not break the plane. It is a fumble picked up by, I think that was the Giants or the Cowboys, one of the two. Next game we've got, this should be a good one. Undefeated.
I hope so.
Patrick Mahomes going up against 3-1 Blake Bortles in KC. Can Jacksonville get the road win in Arrowhead?
Part of me wants to say Jacksonville will finally slow down Patrick Mahomes, who now throws only with his left hand because it's just not fair.
Just tosses it with the left.
Yeah, but I can't pick against the Chiefs until they give me a reason to pick against them. For Jacksonville, I feel like this could be one of those games where it's a Blake Bortles shows up and just throws all over everybody type of game. Or the flip side is it could be a really kind of low-scoring game, and maybe Mahomes does get slowed down a little bit. Eventually, he's got to slow down, right? But I don't know that it's right now. I'm going to go with Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, this is kind of like... I'm going to take a look here, see if I can make the... This is almost like a Dallas-New York game from 2016 where Dallas was on a roll. They were like, ooh, only had one loss. They were 11-1 and then lost 10-7 to the New York Giants. That's what this game is. It's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars with the win, with a close win. And finally, people will see, all right, maybe we need to pump the brakes on Mahomes. He's good, but he's not a god out there. And he will be looking like a mere mortal. Not super mere mortal, but at least more mortal than he has seemed. I'm going with the Jaguars to get the W against the Chiefs. Then an interesting one, because it's only a 1-point game on the odds books. The Jets a 1-point favorite. Who you going with, the Broncos or the Jets?
Well, I'm going to go with the Broncos on this one. That defense is just really good. If they can get Case Keenum doing what he's got to do.
If he wouldn't have overthrown that defender last night, Broncos would have won.
It would have been nice. New York is one of those teams where I just don't necessarily know what to completely make of them. Good defense, but since week 1, they have not been the same team that they showed us. So I'm going to go with Denver.
I'm going Denver too, and I'm going to go back to that for a second. I'm going to rant for a little bit. Demaryius Thomas is good, but that pass showed that, oh, that's right, that's not Stephon Diggs out there, where Diggs has a little bit more jumping ability and was able to maybe jump up and get balls. If he would have hit Demaryius Thomas on that fly route that he had on Monday Night Football, the Chiefs would not have been winning that game on Monday night. I'm going with the Broncos to take revenge over the Jets. Case Keenum over Sam Darnold. Then to me, I've said this a lot, but this week has a lot of interesting games. Falcons and Steelers. What are you thinking about this one? Because these are both teams that are not as good as we thought they would be. Kind of the reverse Denny Green.
Well, I think that the Atlanta Falcons game last week was against the Bengals was kind of cool in the sense of just it showed off that offense and what they can do. And Pittsburgh's defense is not that great. So I think that the Atlanta Falcons offense can move. What I haven't seen out of Pittsburgh is their offense moving as much as they should.
Could this be a similar game that we saw on Monday night between the Buccaneers and the Steelers?
It could be. It's possible. Just go out for a shootout, you know? I'm going to lean towards Atlanta, and that's who I'm going to pick for this one.
Yeah, with me, I'm going to go with... I got to double check. Who did I pick for this one? I'm going to go with the Steelers, basically because they're at home, and Big Ben plays better when he is at home. So I will go with the Steelers, the favorite, to win this one. Then we got Giants and Panthers. I think this one is easy. I like the Giants. I like Saquon Barkley. Panthers are going to win. They're coming off the bye, and they're just a better team right now.
Claw up.
Mark's, that's all I got to say. Claw up. That's all we're going to do. Raiders and Chargers. Is Derek Carr back? What we saw last week, can we expect that this week against the Chargers?
Well, their offense hasn't necessarily been that bad. They don't have a pass rush. You know, that's the rough part.
If only I wonder how they would have a pass rush, Mark.
Right.
I wonder how the Raiders could have had a pass rush.
You know, someone who could strip sack would be great. But the Chargers, the Chargers are a great team who... Chargers ain't getting any respect. I don't know what this is. They get no respect.
No respect.
But
they give me no respect.
I gotta lean forward the Chargers on this one. I mean, it's tough because Oakland has been better than the world wants to give them credit for because it's just kind of funny at this point. But still, I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Is that the second Rodney Dangerfield?
It is. It's Rodney Dangerfield number 2.
This is the Rodney Dangerfield podcast. Next game, I'm going to go with the Chargers as well, bolt up. Next game, we've got a NFC Championship rematch. The Vikings going into the Eagles. And an interesting thing, Anthony, who has commented, is a fan of MVP, one of our loyal followers and viewers, listeners, however you digest everything. He said on Twitter, he's a Vikings fan like myself. He said it's funny that at this point in the season that this Vikings-Eagle game would be for whoever loses, their season might probably could be over. What are you thinking about this Vikings-Eagle game heading into Week 5?
I don't think whoever loses season is over. I think that's a little much. I get what he's saying, but I think it's a little much.
I mean, with the Vikings, I might think about that because of how the Bears have played and because of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it all depends a little bit. But I think that this one here, it should be interesting, but I can easily see Carson Wentz going out there and finally having that rust, shook off because of the fact that this Minnesota Vikings pass defense is not as good as it's supposed to be. Alshon Jeffrey might come back this week too, so that's going to be a big deal. I don't know if he was already back. He was back last week, but full form. Let's get some Alshon Jeffrey highlight reel for this game against Minnesota.
I'm going to go basically with what I think this game will be. It'll play into what last week's was. Basically, Kirk Cousins, you're our only hope. And that's what I think it is. This is going to be a shootout. Kirk Cousins, we need you now more than ever to lead us to touchdowns. Throw to Adam Thielen because that's who the What's Your Fantasy team
and
has
Stephon
this
Diggs.
Year. Just Adam Thielen and Kyle Rudolph.
I could use some Stephon Diggs.
Adam Thielen and Kyle Rudolph. That's basically what we need. Or don't, because Lions guy has him in our...
See, Stephon Diggs.
In our league. Then the team I wanted to talk about earlier, the Cardinals, who are winless, and the 49ers. I'm going to go with the Niners in this one in Santa Clara. This one's nothing really to talk about here. What about the Rams and the Seahawks? The Legion of Boom officially over. Easy pick for the Rams?
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. The Rams are such an amazing offense, such a great defense. And they've gone out there and said, we believe in Jared Goff. And Jared Goff is going to tear apart this Seattle defense.
And then the last two games, first one Sunday, I believe when we were making our picks before the segment, you were like, oh, wow, the schedule makers thought this would be a good one for Sunday Night Football. But we got the 2-2 Cowboys versus the 1-3 Texans. What are you thinking about Sunday Night Football?
I just don't really trust the Cowboys. They've been too back and forth right now, and even though I thought they could maybe get into the playoffs this year, bounce back, no, not believing it. Every time I see one of these Cowboys games, I keep thinking, wow, they could really use a wide receiver. Des Bryant's available.
Man, I thought he was going to sign with the Browns, man.
Hey, any day now. That offer in his phone, he's going to respond to that text. I think that Deshaun Watson's been doing well enough. The team around him has not been necessarily as good as we would hope, but I think that the Houston Texans at home can do it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Texans as well. I just don't, like you said, I don't trust the Cowboys, and I think they're a hot and cold team, and also they're winless on the road. So I'm going to go with the Texans, who, they're winless at home, but I have a little bit more confidence in them. Plus, I like Will Fuller for my fantasy team and DeAndre Hopkins to have some big games. Then the Monday night game.
Yeah.
The big thing about this one, Drew Brees will most likely become the best passer that we've ever seen in our lifetime. He only needs 201 yards, which I am declaring he will get in this game and will pass Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to doubt that. But I do think that means shootout. And Alex Smith, when you get him into a shootout, he can shine. For all the game manager talk that he gets, he can actually light it up every now and then. Maybe Chris Thompson and can get a lot of yards or something like that. Maybe I'll start him. But no, I think that this is going to be a shootout. This New Orleans defense, it's nothing compared to what it was supposed to be. And there's some fans out there of the Saints that are sitting there going, hey, maybe Sean Payton's just a bad coach. But, I mean, really, look at these defenses. They've been terrible.
Well, he's an offensive coach.
Great. Hire somebody that can do defense for you. The only one you did, he got you a shit ton of suspensions.
He had what's his name? I'm trying to think. Rex Ryan? Is it? No, not Rex Ryan.
Buddy? Not Buddy. The other one. Oh, what is that one's name?
Rob Ryan.
That's not Rob.
Yeah, he had the long gray hair. I think it's Rob Ryan.
All right, now we're both Googling it. No, you're right, Rob.
I can picture him in my head. Yeah,
I forgot that Ryan existed.
He had Rob Ryan.
Remember when
the defensive coordinator?
Remember when Rex Ryan got Rob Ryan on the same team, and that did not work out well?
Oh man, that was a great team. Yeah. I like how I went from Rex Ryan to Buddy Ryan, and I was like, wait a second.
No, if it was Buddy, that would be a damn good defense.
Something doesn't fit right here. He did have Rex Ryan on that squad, though. And I mean, Dennis Allen isn't terrible as their defensive coordinator. He's not great, but he's not terrible.
From as good as they were last year to what they are now, Alvin Kamara is awesome, and I loved that last run where he basically walked into the end zone, even though everyone was running full speed at him. Did not matter. He looks effortless and amazing, and it's wonderful. Still, I'm going to pick the Washington Redskins for the upset.
I like how there's an article here from Complex that's the most toxic jobs in sports right now. One of them is New Orleans Saints defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Is one of the most toxic jobs. I'm going to go with the Saints. I think that Drew Brees is going to be a history night. He'll pass Peyton Manning. Saints will get the win. New Orleans will be happy, and there will be parties galore on Bourbon Street.
There's parties anyways.
There are.
There's parties and the smell of pee everywhere. But, the thing I would kind of like to see, and I like the Saints. And
all that booze has got to go somewhere.
I had them as my Super Bowl winner. Let's not forget that and the hold us to them. But it would be kind of funny if Drew Brees breaks this record and he does it in a loss.
Yeah, and you see my eyes get really big because right now I'm like, oh, we're done with the picks, and I turned on the Cubs game a little bit.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it almost is. It almost was 2-0, but Albert Amora making a catch at the wall.
I was gonna say, maybe you can just go to sleep. You don't need to watch it.
Yeah, that might be better for my conscience. So, any final thoughts on any of the games?
At least the Bears aren't going to lose this week.
Yeah, the Bears won't lose, neither will the Bucks. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think about any of the games this week, and let us know your picks down below. We're done making eliminator picks because we lost that 2 weeks ago when the Bills beat the Vikings.
Damn Vikings.
It's funny because Brandon made picks because he filled in for you, and I'll say it again. He got knocked out too when the Titans beat the Jaguars. So thank you guys for checking out the podcast. A little housekeeping here at the end. Make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluable podcast. You want to help support the channel. You can also support us by buying an MVP t-shirt, link down below in the description, or you can get it at mostvaluablepodcast.com, where you can catch MVP each and every day. And then last but not least, make sure to check out us on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. Please give us a 5-star rating. Let us know why you like listening to the podcast each and every week. I want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening on podcast services around the world. And as always, have a good day, everybody.